Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are so excited to share with you how we have packed our van for our summer van life trip around Europe.
In this video we are also going to be sharing with you the essential items that you need to take with you while you're on the road. All these items are going to be listed down below in the description, so make sure you check them out.
The first category is cooking and dining. So these are items that we use every single day and we would be lost without them. So we recommend that you get something similar to this when packing your van. First item is this all-in-one pan, saucepan, everything you need to cook for 2 people. It's so nice and compacted and it's perfect for a tiny van like ours. You get this here in Decathlon for €30 and it's perfect because it has everything you need for 2 people. Next up is this camping cup where you can cook directly in it. We cook our porridge every single day in it and it's so handy because it's one thing less to clean up at the end of the day. Our next item is this foldable strainer and basin. These items are so handy, they take up no room. When you're cooking pasta or cleaning veg, it's so handy to have just this strainer and they fold into each other, take no room, put it in a cupboard and you don't even know they are there. So next up is our absolute favorite and latest addition to our collection, and it's this Omnia oven with which you just take your cooking skills to the next level. You can cook anything you want in it, from lasagna to bacon to chips, you name it, you can cook it in this. It just makes your van have an oven. So one good thing about the Omnia oven is that it comes with so many accessories, so the possibilities are endless with it. So you have, for example, this mold for making muffins, or this one here in which you can cook different things at the same time without mixing. So you can have lasagna here, you can have chips in this other one. Next up is this rack that allows you to put hot saucepans and pans on the table and you don't have to worry about your counter. Also you can use it for drying plates if you put it on the sink. Last but not least, we have the foldable table and the foldable chairs. This wee table is so handy for a van like ours because we can just put it away and we can have so much more room inside rather than having a fixed table. And these camping chairs, they literally take up no room, they are very light and you can take them anywhere. We take them to the beach, we use them for eating outside.
Okay, so the next topic that I'm going to be talking about is tools and maintenance. So when you are setting off to go on this epic journey, either for weeks or months on end, it is good practice to bring some tools with you, because we have taken them and we have used them more than what we would have liked to, and these tools have got us out of every single situation that we've got into. So let's dive right in and look at what tools you should bring with you. The first piece of kit that I recommend that you pack in your van is a toolkit, something similar to this one here. This here is a very simple one from Halfords, but it has everything that you need, from knives, pliers, screwdrivers, sockets, wrenches, Allen keys. Everything you need is in this little toolkit right here, and it's nice and compact and sits underneath the bed. I've used this here nearly every single day. For no matter what the issue is in the van, this toolkit comes out and it can fix nearly everything that goes wrong. So continuing on from our little toolkit, I have this bag right here where I keep my cans of like WD-40, my hammer, I have cable ties, extra fuses, small wee bits and pieces in this here bag, even small bits of wires because you do not know when you're going to need them. So in this little bag right here, this just fits right underneath your seat and it can get you out of a hole. Up next on our list of tools and maintenance is to carry a tow rope with you. We have this AA tow rope which pulls up to 4 tons. So this here is very small, very compact. It's easy just to store away in one of the cupboards or underneath the seat, and God forbid if something did happen, you broke down on a road or on the motorway, you can get towed out of this by somebody else when you don't have to sit around waiting for a tow truck. This here was only maybe like €13 on Amazon, so very reasonable price and comes in very handy if you do need it. So always bring a tow rope with you. So up next on our list is a set of jump leads. Now these here jump leads have got us out of several holes in this past couple of months while living in the van. They are just very handy to have. You just never know when you're going to run out of battery. Maybe you park up and you leave your lights on by accident and you wake up the next morning and the van won't start. It's just very handy to have a set of jump leads with you. And similarly, when we broke down and it was our starter motor, I was fit to test the starter by just having these jump leads with me. I was fit to wire it up, check that it was working and get on the road again. So always just carry a set of jump leads with you just in case something does happen and you need to jump start your van. So the last item on our recommended tools to bring with you is this little jerry can right here. This here one is a 5-litre one, and you might think that you're never going to run out of fuel because you have a fuel gauge. Well, sometimes your fuel gauge doesn't work, especially on Fergus. You just can't tell whether or not it is quarter full, half full, or even full at some times. So we actually ran out of fuel one time in Galicia, and luckily we had this little 5-litre can and it was fit to run off to the nearest petrol station, fill this here by up, and we were fit to get back on the road and fill up our tank. So it's just very convenient to have this sitting in your van. So before you set off and you are packing your van, it's good practice that you set aside a cupboard or a drawer inside your van that you can put in some spare parts, some spare tools, whatever you think you're going to need on the road. Right here is our trusty old cupboard in Fergus, where you can see inside we have spare wire, we have spare alternator belts, we have spare fuel filters, everything that we think might go on the road we have in here. And luckily we did, because several times, even when we were traveling around Ireland, our alternator belt snapped, but luckily enough I had a couple in here spare that I could just throw on and get us back on the road. So a few things like this here make your life so much easier while living on the road, because you have the reassurance that if something does go wrong, you have a couple of spare parts that you can get fixed and get back on the road. When you are living and traveling in your van, you're going to need to generate power somehow, and for this there is several things you can pack in your van just to make sure that you are always going to have power while living on the road. So there is two different types of devices. There was one for generating power and there's one for storing power. First of all, we are going to be talking about the 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 SolarSaga 100 watt solar panel. Now this here is an absolute lifesaver, and this has kept us on the road for over 6 months. This here solar panel folds out and you can place it wherever the sun is and it can generate power. And to store the power that is generated from the solar panel, we use this 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡𝗟𝗏 Explorer 240. So this here is the smallest of the 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡s. Now you can get much bigger ones which will charge your devices even more times, and you can run nearly everything off it. This here is enough to keep our laptop, drone, camera, phones charged. So this here is sufficient for us, especially when we don't have that much of room. This here fits nicely underneath the bed and you never even know it's there. So another cool way of charging this here is that you can plug it directly into your van through your 12 volt port. So when you're driving, this here is actually charging up. So when you're in a campsite or you're wild camping, you're going to have enough power to charge your phone, your laptops, drones, cameras, everything you can charge from right here. And it will even give you 240 volts, you have two USB sockets, and you have a 12 volt socket. So another item that we recommend that you pack in your van, and we do too, is this pure sine wave inverter. Now this here plugs into your van through the 12 volt cigarette lighter port, and this offers 240 volts and it has two USB sockets. So while you're on the road, you can be charging your laptop through the 240 port, or you'll be charging your phone or camera through the USB port. This here is so small, fits in the glove box, and you never know when you're going to need it, because you're always going to need power when you're on the road. On a day like today where the sun is high in the sky and is shining, our solar panel on top of Fergus is generating loads of power, and we need a way to store that. So we always carry with us these little miniature power banks, and this here one is a 25,000 milliamp hour, and this here can charge your phone loads of times. So we have maybe 5 or 6 of these around the van, and when the sun is shining we just have these constantly plugged in, and these are just storing the power that our solar panel is generating.
So next up is clothing and toiletry, and for clothing we have these packing cubes that are so handy. They keep everything nicely organized and also compacted. When you're looking for something, you don't need to pull everything out of your wardrobe, because you know exactly where everything is. You can get these packing cubes on Amazon. We're gonna leave the links down in the description. We really like these ones. They are very good quality and they have 2 zips, so we are very happy with this model here. So next up is solid shampoo and solid soap. These here are so handy when having a shower in the middle of nowhere. These are 100% vegan and biodegradable. They are plastic free, so they are super eco-friendly. Also, they take up no room. These equals to 4 bottles of shampoo, and it's tiny. So for a van like this is literally perfect. So next up we have this USB shower, which is really useful for when you're coming back from the beach and you just want to rinse off all the salt, or for when you want to have a proper shower. So this shower is perfect for a van like this where we don't have a fixed shower, so it will come very handy in many different occasions. Along with this shower we have this 20-liter foldable bucket. You just drop the pump in it and you have a fully functioning shower. And then last but not least we have this thermal shower. This holds 40 liters. You just fill it up, put it out in the sun. It has a thermometer here. It tells you what temperature the water is at, and then you just hang it anywhere and you can use this shower. It just works by gravity.
Okay, so the next category that we're going to be talking about is miscellaneous items that we think that you should definitely be packing in your van before you set off on a trip. So the first item is a CO alarm. Now this here is an essential item when it comes to living in a van. If you're cooking in your van and you've no ventilation and there's carbon monoxide, then this here alarm will go off. So carbon monoxide is the silent killer. This here alarm will just give you that peace of mind knowing that you're safe if you are in a van cooking with very little ventilation. The second item that you should definitely pack in is a little fire extinguisher just like this one here. When you have your gas hob going, you just never know what happens. A flame could catch on to your curtains or something. At least when you have this here right beside you, you can put it out, or even if your engine goes on fire, you can have this here right beside you, so you can jump out, put it out and save maybe thousands upon thousands worth of damage. Next up on the list is a simple first aid kit. Now this here one right here, it has Velcro on the back, so it sticks to the back of our seats. Now this here is an essential item. You always have to carry one of these with you. You just never know when you're going to need it, when you're going to cut yourself. Like I've cut myself several times when I've been changing oil filters, doing stuff in the back of the engine. I've nicked my skin, and little bandages like this here stored away really helps. Another item that we cannot live without is this little 12-volt USB fan. This here has 3 different settings, and when you're traveling in Spain or in Europe during the summer, it gets so hot it's like living in a tin can. Basically that's all you're doing. This here can cool you down in seconds, and it just makes it that little bit more comfortable to live in, even when you're trying to sleep at night when it's absolutely boiling outside. Have this little boy going, uses up very little battery, and it just keeps you nice and cool during the summer months. So the last item on our list of miscellaneous things to carry with you is going to be items in relation to the dreaded mosquitoes. We have been absolutely ate alive here in Spain with the mosquitoes, and if you can do anything to help, then it's going to be a bonus, because there's nothing worse than living in a van and just having that dreaded noise in your ear during the night. First of all, we have this little device right here that you plug in to a USB in your van, and it just gives off a scent that stops the mosquitoes coming in. And all you have to do is you have to put in a little tablet in here, and that comes in these little boxes right here, just like a little pouch. You slide it in here, this here heats up, and it just gives off a scent, and it just deters the mosquitoes from coming in. We have sat out at night with our door open, with our roof up, and this little boy going here, and we've got back into the van with 0 mosquitoes. So this here is an absolute game changer when it comes to stopping mosquitoes. So if you're unfortunate enough and you do get ate by mosquitoes, then this little pen might be a friend for you. All this does is, if you do get bit, you apply this to the skin, and it will apply a heat to the area, and it will put the nerves to sleep, stopping that area becoming very itchy, so you're not going to start scratching it and then be left with a scar on your skin. So this here little pen is very handy to be left in the glove box in case you do get bit by those dreaded mosquitoes.
So there you have it guys, that's how we have packed our van. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you want to check anything out, remember that everything is linked down below this video in the description.
For more van life videos like this here, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we hope that if you are going on an epic road trip this summer, we hope that you enjoy it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.